Hello and welcome to another episode of Trash Talk Podcast. We got some life hacks for you today because YouTube likes life hacks.
Yes,
but before we get into that, let me introduce myself. My name is Alex. You all know that by now. And I got a man sitting next to me and his name is JJ. And I need to know how he's doing before we get into this video. So JJ.
Yes.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm having a sore throat and I'm hyped for the podcast. So, kind of mixed feelings.
That's not on my script. I'm sorry. Can we do that again? Take two. JJ, how are you doing?
Fine.
Okay, JJ's doing fine. As always, you know how we do. I'm uploading this uncut, by the way. I'm not editing that out. People need to see.
Which they know because they've heard it already.
Exactly. People need to see the work behind the scenes sometimes. All right. So I've already introduced our first topic, kind of, sort of, but you have planned that. So
yes.
Get me into it.
So I always wanted to do a topic about like some little psychology things, but I never really got a full topic out of it, and now I just threw some of them together. Some of those you can apply to your life and use them as life hacks.
Life hacks.
Others are just interesting that you might be interested to learn about.
Because psychology is always interesting to learn about.
Yes.
Because that's a way you can manipulate your boss mentally to make millions. As a janitor or something like that.
Yes, maybe not quite as much, but you can.
Possibly.
There's definitely at least one in there which you can make money with.
YouTube? Be funny and make a channel?
That's not necessarily psychology, but...
Be us? Alright. All the money we'll make on YouTube? Already? Okay, yeah, start me up.
So, nice one.
Yeah. I was waiting for that to just pass by. But,
so, the first one, not as much of a life hack, but still very interesting, is that your subconscious keeps solving problems that you haven't consciously solved yet.
Yes.
Which is also something that people say about, for example, Einstein, when he was having a relatively mundane job, that's when his mind basically did all the relativity stuff. And that also just, I think, is good to know for people who have not heard that before. I mean, that's thrown around quite a bit. So
of course. Isn't that also the thing where you get the best ideas when doing some random shit like on the shower or something like that?
That's actually another one that I have not written down.
Okay.
The ideas under the shower, partially of course that, but also partially if you have a certain amount of noise around you that stimulates your brain.
Yeah.
And a shower is perfectly in the decibel range that most stimulates your brain.
Alright. Your voice is not.
My voice definitely is not.
I was about to say, listening to our podcast, you will not be able to think of good stuff.
No, but the shower is perfect for that, or also like music or something, which is why people often listen to music.
But it's like there's like a multiple of the actual like processes going on in your subconscious mind that you're consciously aware of.
Yes.
So there's a lot more going on in your brain than you might know.
Also, if you're trying to remember something and you just can't think of it, once you stop thinking about it, oftentimes like a bit later it comes to mind.
That's usually a thing, like when we're struggling for a song title or something like that.
Yeah.
5 minutes later we're talking about something else, like, that's what it's called.
When I was preparing today's halftime show, like almost a week ago, because I came up with that idea back then, I wrote down some songs for that, and I couldn't think of one of the artists, and the next day, it just popped into my head.
You're gonna have to tell me what song that is once we get there, and then I'm gonna ridicule you for not knowing the artist immediately. In case I know the song, which I don't know if I know it, but
you probably do.
Chances are, if you know a song, I know it too. Like that's more than likely gonna happen.
So that was the first one I wrote down.
Can we form that into any type of life hack? Probably not, right? Just be like the hint that you can get from that is. Don't try to focus on something if you can't figure it out. Just focus on something else and it'll come to you.
Like struggling doesn't really help too much.
Like,
and we got the bonus fact of the background noise of a certain range.
Take a shower. Take a shower.
Yeah,
sure.
That's generally a good tip.
Take a shower.
Depending on psychology.
Good thing. Cleans you up. Alright.
Another one that I wrote down, and this is maybe the biggest life hack in this one.
I like life hacks.
Is that if you want something from someone else,
yes,
you could start with making an extraordinarily high request, which they will obviously deny.
Of course.
Then they will feel guilty about denying that, so when you're making a lower request, they are way more likely to grant it to you, than when you started with a low one.
I think that works both ways because there's also the idea of asking like a small favor from someone, which will then subconsciously get them to like you more because they invested in you, kind of sort of, and that will make it more likely that they will do you favors in the future. But I can see that happening because that's important for negotiations too, right?
Yes.
Because when it's like you name a sum, I'll name a sum, and we'll meet in the middle.
So the example that I've heard, for example, is say you have a friend who is like a musician.
But continue.
And then you want tickets for you and a friend to their concert.
Yes.
You start by asking like, oh, can I have like
20
tickets for like 20 of my friends?
Yeah.
And they'll be like, no, I can't really do that. And then when you like ask him like the next day or something,
can
I have 2 tickets? They're like, sure.
Well, they probably would have given you the 2 tickets before.
Yes, but like that's the example.
It's increasing the probability, yeah.
Also, like if you want to lend money from someone who might not be willing to give you like the $100 you need right now, ask him for 1,000 first.
Yep.
Then like a bit later ask him for 100.
Yep.
They're way more likely to give them to you than when you just started asking 100.
I do not think that's gonna work on everyone though.
No, but
it's gonna work on some people, but it's about the guilt thing, right?
Yes, but that's also more of a subconscious thing than consciously always being guilty about it.
How prone someone is to feeling that way. Because if someone's asking me for money and I want to give them money, I'm not giving them money.
Yes, of course, but that is generally a thing that you can use to manipulate people. And I've heard that somewhere, and I see how it works, so I thought it was kind of interesting and worth mentioning. Okay,
so what else do you got? That's a good life hack, though. You already know what to do now. Next time when you're in a job interview, be like, am I getting paid, $1 million per year? And like in the first year, I was like, no. All right, let's do 100,000. Okay, I can do that.
The problem with job interviews is just that there's a lot of other candidates, and there's not really any connection yet.
Exactly.
So that probably won't work.
Problem. Also, people who interview people for jobs can't be like really guilty or feel really guilty about stuff. It doesn't work well.
Another little psychology thing that I had in my notes is that phone games work in a way that specifically tries to get you not necessarily addicted, but definitely like wanting to keep playing.
Yeah, you're talking about freemium games?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what they do is they usually have some kind of like energy or something.
Yeah.
And once it's used up, you can't play till it recharges.
There's an in-game currency where you can buy that.
Yes, so because you can't indefinitely play it, you won't get bored as quickly. Mm-hmm. So you're always coming back.
Yeah.
When the timer's up, basically.
Exactly. That's like with these games that have like resource management stuff.
Yes.
You can't play it like for 10 hours straight from right at the beginning because there will be prolonged periods of time where there's nothing to do because your energy is lower, or like you need more experience points to do this and this, which like gets you to like play for a couple of minutes, like several times a day.
Yeah, and then
keeps you interested for longer.
That keeps you interested for longer, and thereby also makes you more likely to buy something for real money.
Exactly the stuff with that. They give you like 10 coins for free every now and then.
Yeah.
And then, hey, you could buy 100 for like
$5 or something.
Not 49 cents maybe.
Oh yes,
it's like the micropayment stuff, right?
There's
a South Park episode about that, or like a whole series about. Basically, it's Canada, and they make a freemium game, and they fund their entire country from that. From people like paying thousands of dollars over these little micropayments.
Yep.
It's pretty good.
That also, interestingly enough, I just realized applies to idle games.
Yeah.
With the short bursts of play.
Yeah. Because when you play Cookie Clicker, you got like 1 hour after Ascension. Like where you need to actively be around, but then you just like check it once a day.
Yep.
Which I guess that does make it more interesting. But that's it boils down to the basic psychological principle of when you can't have something, you want it more, and when you get a little taste of something, you like, you'll always come back for it.
Yes.
Right.
Also, similar to that, what you just said, is the fact that your brain always thinks in extremes. Mm-hmm. So when you had a really great experience, the next time you're experiencing the exact same thing, it won't feel as great. Just comparing it to the previous one.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of people always start going to more extremes. Like, A good example, for example, is drug users.
Yes.
They always start getting the harder drugs or taking them more.
They start with drinking and cigarettes, and then once they start smoking weed, and it gets worse and worse.
Yeah, like the general idea at least. Also, adrenaline junkies, they start doing crazier and crazier things because the kick gets less every time because your body just doesn't give out as much adrenaline anymore.
Right. You adapt to it.
Yeah, that.
Your brain's used to that, sure.
There is also an interesting one, which is that's something that lets you kind of read people, is that people, when they, for example, tell a joke, the first person they look to is usually the one whose opinion they most value. Yes. And you don't even do that consciously, you do it subconsciously.
I've heard of that.
Which, supposedly, for example, if a girl has a crush on you, supposedly she will look at you, and that's...
Right. Which, I guess in general that makes sense without the jokes or anything.
Yeah, but, like, that's just... I'm not an expert on that, but
also love how you're specifying female because you're not even expecting there's any female audience.
There is no female audience. I've seen our analytics.
But there might be some
100% male.
So I would assume that men do that too.
Yes, that's a general thing.
That's like a general thing, right? Which makes sense.
Yeah, you always look at the person whose opinion you most value because you want to see their reaction.
Yes.
And again, that also happens subconsciously, as most of those things do.
There's a lot of subconscious reactions that people actually do. I've heard about that stuff.
Also,
you can use that, like, can you use that for, like, maybe debates or something like that? Or can you, like, I'm trying to figure out ways to use all these tips to make some, like, profit for yourself.
I mean, that can definitely tell you
maybe be like when you give
how people think of you.
Maybe like when you talk. Let's say you were like an activist or something like that, right?
Yes.
We're out on the street and spreading the gospel, which we do in our free time. I've mentioned that. I've mentioned it before, right? So like we talk to a group of 5 people and we tell them we want to talk about Jesus Christ, and it's like if one person like looks at us and like is like seems like interested, that's the person we're gonna go for.
Yeah.
So if they're talking about it and they're like that type of way.
Also,
it's basically just reading like the gestures and their body language pretty much.
I've heard an interesting thing. We all know yawning is contagious.
Yeah, for some reason.
And so I've heard this interesting thing when someone's like sitting in a room like across the room from you.
Even works for animals.
And you're looking over and it seems like they're staring at you.
Yeah.
And it seems like all the time they're staring at you.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to know if they're actually staring at you or just looking in your general direction.
You yawn.
If you yawn, and they also then consequently yawn, they're most likely looking at you.
That's also one way to find out if they're staring at you, which is a different way, which I know, is you focus on like staring at a point very close to their face. Like say the person's like sitting like 10 feet away from you, and you're gonna look like right above their head at something, right, like that, for like a couple of seconds. And then you immediately switch down and look them right in the eye, right? So if they were staring at you, they'll look away immediately.
Okay.
Because they think that it's weird that they've been noticed or whatever, right?
Yes.
So that's the way to do that.
Okay, yeah. And...
if you ever want to find out if someone is staring at you, which is creepy in every single way.
Also, an interesting thing about group dynamics, that's kind of more sociology than psychology, but anyways... Mm-hmm. And that is, for example, imagine you're sitting in a classroom.
Been there.
The teacher asks like a yes or no question.
Mm-hmm.
You are convinced the answer is no.
Yes.
And then the teacher asks who thinks it's yes.
Everyone shows up.
And like, yeah, the majority of people raise their hand.
Yeah.
Suddenly, you might raise your hand as well, just to fit in with the group, basically.
Yeah, that's true. That's I think that happens more on like when it's an opinion-based question. Rather than like a factually correct or wrong. Because if you know the answer is, like, you know the correct answer. For me personally, I always liked if there's a correct answer.
Yeah.
And everyone's wrong and I'm like the only one who's right and I get to explain it in front of the whole class. That's great.
Yeah, that's also how I think, but a lot of other people don't think that way.
Yeah, but that's our personality type though.
Yeah, because a lot of people just go with a group. It's weird that we're both loners. And we're friends. That kind of like... It seems like a contradiction.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't know, but like groups of loners doesn't.
I don't know if loners is the right group? Like, isn't loner someone that no one likes?
It's just I always saw it as someone who doesn't like anyone else, but sure.
It sounds like a negative connotation to it. It's like someone that is not good enough for others, instead of being too good for most others. I might edit that out. No, I'm just kidding. Am I?
So
who knows?
Those were like the big points I was.
Yeah, I got one more thing about psychology. It's like a little trick, right? And that's actually just a life hack, pretty much, right?
Yes.
So, you get into those situations where you got two choices, right? And you wanna hear the opinion of someone else, but you prefer one of those, right? But you still feel
I hate when people do that.
Yeah, you still feel obligated to ask someone else for their opinion.
And then they're like, "Oh no, I'm just gonna do the other thing," and I'm like, "Why the fuck did you ask me in the first place?"
Exactly, right? But in order to avoid this, right, you can only do this when you're talking to them face to face, right? But a simple trick is to use hand gestures, right? So say you're gonna ask someone, "Are we going to the movies or are we going to an amusement park?" Right? Doing with the hands, right?
Yes.
So what you're gonna do is, for the option that I'm trying to explain this because we didn't have a picture, right? But you put out your hands, right? The way you would gesture when you put in an option, right? This or this. Put one hand to the right, one hand to the left. So I'm going to the movie park, puts on the hand, going to the movies, right? A movie park. Is that movie park? Amusement park, the movies.
Yeah.
They put those two hands in front of you, like it's hard to explain that. Maybe we can throw pictures of them. But I guess
we don't do that for podcasts.
Yeah, I guess you know what I'm talking about, right? So the option that you prefer and you want them to pick two, you're gonna raise your hand higher, right? You're gonna hold you're gonna hold your hand like about the height of your throat or your head, whereas for the other one you're gonna hold a bit lower, like the height of your, I don't know, chest, belly button, whatever. So for you, JJ, I know you all can't see that, but I'm giving an example, all right? So if I want to go to the amusement park rather than the movies, I'll ask you, hey, you gonna go to the movies or the amusement park? Right. So I held my hand, or the other way around.
The way you gestured it,
I gestured it to the way amusement park. Because first of all, I put a vocal stress on it, like movies or amusement park, right? You can't make that too obvious, of course. And
also wouldn't work on me because I don't like amusement parks too much. I know. And I like movies.
I know that the movie theater would work on you, but this is to influence gullible people, right?
Yes.
So this is something that you could take about. I'm sure there's another video on YouTube or something like that on that exact same trick. So if you don't get what I mean by gesturing with your hands, look that up. But
I'm pretty sure it's relatively obvious.
I guess so. You gotta just hold it higher and kind of stress it. Like in asking them, you're pretty much gonna put the answer in their mouths.
Yes,
is how your mind should work. You gotta tell them what to say by asking them.
Also, that reminds me of the thing where you're asking people a lot of questions, like I don't know, like getting that definitely have answers like that rhyme, for example, with the answer you want in the last question. You ask them like, "What do you do at a red stoplight?" and they say "go," because when you're priming them for an answer, in the
flow. Yeah, sure.
That's mostly the thing that's also for jokes.
That's what happens though when they just not consciously acknowledging where they just go.
You're just going fast and then having them say things that all end the same way. And they're like, "What do you do at a red traffic light?" Go. And it's like, "No, you stop."
Yeah, right. But that's just that's not really. You're not gonna get.
That's a life hack. That's just a funny thing.
Yeah, you're not gonna let it gain. That's just a way to have your way with people that will turn out that don't have a very long attention span.
That's still funny to do sometimes.
Yeah, that's what people used to do back in the day all the time.
Back before the internet.
You're right. That was the only way to entertain ourselves, right? There's nothing else to do around.
Yes.
Yeah, that's interesting though. Life hacks is probably one of YouTube's favorite subjects. Maybe not YouTube's, but the YouTube communities. Because everyone wants to learn those shortcuts to making all kinds of money and getting whatever they want by just looking at people a certain way, which usually it doesn't happen that way, but there is psychological tricks that you can employ.
When I'm thinking life hacks on YouTube, the thing I think about is food or drink containers being used in some kind of weird way, like putting a straw through a can,
something like that, yeah.
Or when they do the noodle boxes, when they pull them
open.
out.
Yeah.
That's what I think of your life hacks.
It's a sad life when that's a hack and you just pull another plate. But alright, so is that gonna close it for this topic?
I think that's enough. It's interesting
though.
Topic.
Yeah, we might get back on that if we find out more or get new ideas or whatever.
I was just wanted to throw out some of those ideas and discuss them.
Pretty much perfect 20 minutes. So we're going to get into the halftime show.
Yes,
which JJ prepared as well, and he thinks it's gonna be a good topic. And from what he put down in the notes in front of us, it's gonna be a good topic because it's about music, and I like music.
So. We've previously talked about, for example, saying like between two songs, which one's better.
Yeah.
So
not on the air, but in private for sure.
Yes, but so I took that idea and I put a little spin on it because, of course, you could always do that, but
and because you all want to hear our opinions.
Because it's not that fun to just do it. I decided that I always comparing two songs with similar titles.
Okay.
And if you want to, you can also guess what the second song is after I propose the first one.
Okay. So similar. That's the secondary game that you wanted to play.
Yes.
I will do that.
I assumed so.
What do you mean by similar titles? So just like similar words, or are the songs about similar things?
It's just the song titles.
It's just the names.
So, for example,
hit me with an example, right? Okay, so you can play along if you want to. I'm gonna give you like 5 seconds to figure out the other song.
I just wrote down 5 songs.
If
we need more, I'm gonna just come up with more. So, for example, it's Ruby by the Kaiser Chiefs versus
Ruby Red by Slade.
Exactly.
I knew absolutely that's what he was gonna do. And now we're gonna pick which one we like better.
Yes.
Okay, that's the song. That's both songs that we do have in our respective playlists.
That I'm pretty sure that applies to most of the songs.
Yeah, and songs that we both enjoy. So, for this one, it might depend on the mood, but I would usually pick Ruby Red by Slade.
I would usually pick Ruby by the Kaiser Chiefs.
Would you?
Although it's really close.
You told me at one point that Ruby Red is probably your favorite Slade song.
It is.
So you think Ruby is that good?
Yes.
By the way, it could have also been Ruby Tuesday.
Yes, I know.
Which would have been my next guess. Which we could do a triple threat on that too. Like Ruby Tuesday in the mix too. What are you picking?
To be fair, I would say that Ruby Tuesday
How are you ranking
is a great song, but it's probably still the worst of the three.
It's number 3. For me, it would be Ruby Red, Ruby, and Ruby Tuesday, and the word Ruby starts to feel weird when I say it.
Okay,
I gotta do the next one. Also, like, if you, like, gravely disagree with any of the stuff that we say right now, just put it in the comments, let us know.
I mean, considering that on a lot of those we are gonna disagree.
Yeah. But if there's a great argument to be made for one of the songs to be significantly better...
The second one is Life is Life by Opus versus...
Okay, Life is Life by Opus, alright. Is it some life too?
Yes.
Damn, alright, I don't know right now. Can you tell me by whom?
It's by No Doubt.
Yeah. What's the song called? What's the song? It's My Life.
Yes.
Yeah, alright.
I was expecting you to say It's My Life by Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
But that would have been a very clear winner.
Yeah, that's no competition
did not pick that.
Okay, so the word life is in there.
Yes.
I'm going Life is Life.
I'm also going Life is Life, although I like both of them.
In case we did have the It's My Life by Bon Jovi in there.
Yeah, this would have been a clear winner.
Of course.
Which is why I didn't pick it.
That is a potential top 10 all-time song.
Yes.
Which that's still gonna happen at some point. Like the top 10 songs of all time. That's gonna be the toughest thing we'll ever do. I'm calling it right now.
Here's an interesting pairing.
Right.
That's Lady in Black by Uriah Heep.
I was thinking about that song today. When I was driving to the gym, right, in my car.
Yes.
Or not my car, my father's car, but I played that song. And I was thinking about that exact same song, and I was thinking about asking about your opinion on how you would rank that band because you're hyping it. That's interesting that you brought it up.
Also, I'm not sure it was either this song or the one I paired it with that gave me the idea for this specific thing of similar song titles.
So I'm just gonna say Painted Black by the Stones.
No, it's Long Cool Woman in a Black Dress by the Hollies.
Alright.
I just thought that
Alright, okay, so
that was an interesting combination.
That's pretty cool. So I'd like to hear your opinion on that first, by the way.
Like, I definitely like both songs.
I got a very clear opinion on that, by the way.
I would say that Lady in Black wins.
Way better. That's a great song. I would consider that for a top 20 spot of all time.
Ooh,
you know what? That might make a surprise appearance in my top 10 at one point. It's such a good song. Listen, like that's my offhand song of the week, right? It's not my actual song of the week, but "Lady in Black" by Uriah Heep. You might not know it, but yeah, it's an iconic song when you hear it. You may not know the name or the band, but listen to that song. It's fucking awesome. It's great. It's amazing. Good song. So you're picking that too?
Yes.
All right. What are we gonna do? Let's do it that way. If we throw in "Painted Black" as well.
Ooh, I really like that song. I would probably put "Painted Black" first.
First, I'm gonna put it second. I'll put it in between there.
Yeah, I assumed so from the way you were hyping Lady in Black.
It's pretty good. Really good. All right. Also, that's one of the songs we need to analyze at one point.
Yes. The next song is "Rock and Roll Train" by AC/DC.
Okay. That one's going to be "Runaway Train."
Yes.
I assumed so.
By
who is it? I don't know.
That's the one I was talking about, where I couldn't remember by whom it was. The next it just came into my head. Soul Asylum.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm not going to ridicule you for doing that because I didn't come up with it myself. "Rock and Roll Train," AC/DC. Probably my favorite AC/DC song. Gotta say.
I'm really torn on that one. I like both of them.
That was a music reference. And I don't like that. I don't even like that song. I don't know what it
That was not even an intentional reference.
I don't know what it makes.
And I would say that, yeah, it's probably "Rock and Roll Train."
It's probably "Rock and Roll
But
Train.
Not by as much as for you.
AC/DC is an iconic band, and that's probably their best song. So, I mean, I gotta give it to him. I know I didn't rank him that high, but I gotta give it to him.
So, here's the fifth and last one I wrote down.
Alright.
That is "Sound of Silence" by Simon & Garfunkel.
Okay.
Versus?
Let me think. Okay, what could it... What could it be? What could it be? I mean, can't come up with it. Is it about sound or silence?
It's about one of those, yes. Should tell you which one.
I don't know. Tell me by whom.
I'm pretty sure you will know by then. Depeche Mode.
Wow, what was it? What is it? I know the song. I can't come up with the name. For fuck's sake, what is it?
Enjoy the Silence.
Yeah. Sure. That's the toughest one. That's the toughest one. You're gonna probably pick "Sound of Silence."
I'm gonna pick "Sound of Silence," but that's actually, like, when I looked at it, was surprisingly close.
It's surprisingly close, isn't it? Probably the best song by that band, though. I gotta pick "Sound of Silence" as well, just because of the legendary status. Like, the legend factor will also play a role when I do my top 10 rated songs, which I already told him. Like, that songs like "American Pie," for example, might appear on that list, even though at that exact point might not be top 10 songs that I'm most hyped about. But I'm considering the legendary status, so yeah, "Sound of Silence" will go over.
Do you think that's enough for a halftime show? Or?
If you got some more, let's do it.
So right now I'm just having to do that from on top of my head because I didn't take any more notes. Two songs that I actually thought interesting, not directly similar titles, is "The Mysterious Mr. Jones" by Slade.
Yeah.
And I guess I have to tell you which the other one is because the title's not that similar.
Is it?
I know
if it's the one that I'm thinking it is, and if it's that one, because I wrote it down as my song of the week, and I've been thinking about that connection, and if it's the one, I'm gonna go crazy. But what is it?
The Mighty Quinn.
No.
By Men from Men.
Alright, no, it's not that. I'm gonna tell you later. What's the connection.
There is not necessarily any words except for "the" that are in common in the titles.
Yeah.
But both describe like characters.
Yeah.
That are somewhat standing out from mass and stuff. So
okay.
That kind of
so
works.
You know what I'm picking, right?
I know what you're picking.
The Mysterious Mr. Jones.
And I'm picking the Mighty Quinn.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to kill you. I might have to kill you. What? The Mysterious Mr. Jones, that's a bona fide top 10 song. It's so good. Best song by Slade.
It's good. Not the best song by Slade. That would be Ruby Red.
So good. So good. The Mysterious Mr. Jones, so good. Alright, that's just no, man. That's just an absolute no. How could you? Alright, there you got something else. I'm trying to think too. If you know like one of those pairings, let us know. Definitely.
I was thinking of some more, but I didn't write them down because I was probably in the car or something. Probably listened to one of the two songs in the pairing.
Right.
And right now I can't. Oh, there is another interesting one that has a parallel, but not necessarily any common words. That is Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
And
Highway to the Danger Zone?
I was thinking Stairway to Heaven, but that also works.
That's not. Yeah, it's not the parallel. It's the exact opposite. But
yeah, but sure. I mean that does. Oh yeah,
it's interesting for the question though. Damn, that's both legendary songs. Both legendary songs. That's close. Do you have one?
Between Stairway to Heaven and Highway to Hell.
Yes.
Highway to Hell.
Really?
Yes.
Really though?
That's not even as close as some of the other ones.
Is it not? That's probably the closest one we've had. I mean, Stairway to Heaven, right? It's so good. You know what? Can I go like no decision on that? Can I call a draw for that? Because I literally won't decide. So I'm calling it. If we throw on Highway to the Danger Zone though, by Kenny Loggins, what are you going?
Ooh.
Because I'm putting that on top.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm almost tempted to put that over Highway to Hell.
Yeah, I'm putting that over both.
Yeah.
That's so good. Okay, I guess that'll do it. I will, however, when we get into the song of the week, I will tell you the parallel I was seeing there. And had you called out that song that I wrote down for the Mysterious Mr. Jones parallel, I would have gone crazy. But I will tell you later.
Yes.
Okay, so we got the second topic coming up.
Fact of the week.
Oh yeah, we got the fact of the week. I'm sorry, we got the fact of the week. Okay, this time I missed it, but you want to start?
Yes.
All right.
So this fact is less of a general fact than usual, and it's specifically about us and a bit of a behind-the-scenes thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that this podcast is gonna be slotted a bit earlier than it was recorded relative to the others because we pre-record a lot of stuff.
Which is due to the second topic that we're gonna get into next. Yeah.
So this topic, this podcast will be number 5.
Actually,
and was recorded after the one that will be number 7.
Yes. So we skipped like 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
Alright, so the next podcast is going to be delayed by 1 week as we intended it to be.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we could make it even more clear. This podcast is going up on a Saturday, as is every podcast, and we're recording it the day before. Friday night before we are. So that's... I'm gonna have a fun night of editing before me, but I'm gonna get to that. Okay, here's my.
It's not that heavily edited for the podcast.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But it's some computer work.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's my favorite.
Worst part for you probably is the uploading.
Yeah, I need to upload that too. It takes a while. Okay, here's the fact of the week, and it's kind of like just like an interesting WTF moment that I had in real life recently. So I'm on the bus, right, from college, going home.
Yes. And
I'm sitting down because I always sit on the back of the bus, right?
Yes.
And as there's this girl sitting like 2 or 3 rows in front of me, and she pulls out this book, right, a cartoon, and starts reading it, and she's reading it backwards, like she's flipping the pages from left to right, and
it's called manga.
And I'm sat there like, what the hell are you? I didn't say that, but I was like, what are you doing? So you know the end before you get into the build of the story. What's the point with that?
It's a manga, and those are from Japan. They read from right to left, so the books are backwards.
So you tell me it's supposed to be that way?
Yes.
Oh. Fact of the week, I'm an ignorant idiot. I do not know anything about this. I was like, I honestly didn't know it. I was like, what is she doing? She's reading it backwards. Like, she's flipping the pages the wrong way. I was like,
Fact of the week, Alex just learned what manga is.
Apparently, yeah. Also, I'm ignorant. Okay, that fan went down the shitter real quick, huh? Okay, let's get into the next topic, which is probably my favorite topic for today, even though it's a pretty good podcast so far. And it's not going to be any worse. So if you're still here, still watching this, which you probably are not, but if you're, stay tuned.
Yeah, statistically speaking, people watch less than 10% of the video and click away.
Usually. That's we have been doing our analytics work, but we're gonna change that. We're gonna draw the people. Okay, we did that like a similar thing to this before, when we predicted the WrestleMania 34 card,
which is still further away than what we're doing today.
Exactly, yeah. We're doing the SummerSlam today because it's also one of the big 4
yes
pay-per-views. And that's actually happening in a couple of weeks. And that's also the reason why we slotted in this podcast before the other ones, because this needs to be up to date as soon as possible. So
because there's no point in uploading this directly before or even after SummerSlam.
What's the exact date that this podcast is going up? What day is it today?
Today it is the 28th, so tomorrow will be 29th.
So this podcast is going up on the 29th of July. So that's the exact standing that we are currently at, basically, because there's not going to be any shows between today and tomorrow.
Who knows? Maybe there's a house show title change.
Again? You think so?
No.
Like Owens win? Okay. Alright, so here's the rules that we put for ourselves. We got 12 matches, right? We got a card of 12 matches, because I think that's the amount they had at Mania.
13.
13? Yeah.
Oh, no, wait. Mania, I don't know. But 13
they had
last year
13 in last year's SummerSlam, right?
That's what I was thinking of right now.
Exactly. So we put 12 this time. If there is a 13th one, we might slot in another match like from the top of our heads. But okay. So if you've seen the first podcast, what's the first podcast? If you've seen the first podcast, you all know how this works. It's kind of fantasy booking, even though this time it might be a bit more accurate.
So I tried to go as accurate as I could, but also keep it interesting.
Yeah, me too. Because we know a lot of stuff which is gonna happen. Like it's not that far out there as is Mania.
Also, I specifically wrote down what we know, and that is that it's presumably gonna be either Cena or Nakamura versus Jinder Mahal.
Yes, because they announced that for next week's SmackDown. It's gonna be Bayley versus Alexa Bliss.
Yes.
For the Raw Women's title.
It's gonna be Braun versus Samoa Joe versus Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar for the Universal title.
Fatal 4-way, yep.
And it's gonna be presumably Naomi versus Natalya, because Natalya is the more contender and Naomi's champion for the SmackDown Women's Championship.
Even though in that case we always have the Money in the Bank with Carmella and all that stuff, but we'll see.
We also have the Money in the Bank for Jinder.
Yeah, true. Which and actually, okay. So we're gonna do that chronologically. Pre-show first.
Sure. Let's get that out of the way.
What's your first pre-show match? We got 2 pre-show matches, by the way. That's the rule we said. 2 for the pre-show, 10 for the main show.
So the first pre-show match, I haven't really ordered them, but I'm gonna say and it's a shame that I put them on the pre-show, but there wasn't enough space on the main show.
Is it?
Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt.
You put them on the pre-show?
I put them on the pre-show.
Those are main eventers,
I
man.
know.
The heck? Alright, that's weird.
It was either pre-show or off the card.
Shame on you. Like, I'm gonna pick on some match that you put on the main card that should have been gone.
In favor of that. The other 2 non-title matches that I have on the main card have some degree of importance. Right. And this match is the start of the feud.
Yeah, it's kind of a there we go match.
So
but, I mean, at Mania they had the IC title and the Cruiserweight title too. So here's my first pre-show match, right? It's your winner, sure.
So I have Bray Wyatt win it because that's how Bray Wyatt usually does, where he psychologically tries to get over the opponent, and then the opponent basically conquers their fears or whatever, and they win.
That's what happened with Xavier Woods. That's what happened with Randy Orton and all that. Okay, I got Sami Zayn and Ty Dillinger versus Mike Bennett and Aiden English. Again, they did that on SmackDown, but that was the only way I found to throw 4 bodies into a match that I feel like should be on the card, because why not? And I got Sami and Ty Dillinger winning because it's a kickoff match.
Yes.
And Aiden English and Mike Bennett are buried one deeper than the other. Ty needs a push, definitely, and Mike Bennett can fuck off for all I care. Kind of like Aiden English, as long as he doesn't eat the pinfall, which, hilariously enough, he didn't do that on SmackDown. They pinned Bennett. So it's pretty
because they gotta protect Aiden.
Yeah. I'm having Zayn pin Aiden English, though. But that doesn't matter. It's for that case, it's not like Mike Bennett needs any more protection. He's gone anyway. He's who needs this guy?
Yes.
Second pre-show match.
Don't
disagree with me, by the way.
Is the Cruiserweight title match.
Same for me.
And
of course it is.
I put Neville versus, of course Neville, because he's going in as champion.
Yes.
Versus Mustafa Ali.
Okay. Mustafa Ali?
Yes.
Alright.
And I'm having Neville win.
Okay.
Although someone has to take the belt.
See, I got a triple threat, right?
Okay.
Got a triple threat because that make it more interesting. I didn't think they had that yet, right? So Neville always won.
I don't think I think they have multiple man title matches. I'm not sure if they had them on the pay-per-view though.
If they want to, they could have Neville drop the title without getting a pinfall.
Yes.
I got him against Akira Tozawa and Arya Daivari.
Oh, so just pulling him into that feud?
Yes, I'm doing that because Tozawa's still always demanding that match for the title shot. And Daivari, like, he appeared on last time's Raw and just took out both of them. Like, completely destroyed them, right? So, I feel like this might go into a triple threat. And I got Neville retaining. But I might as well have Tozawa win. Why not?
Because...
that would boost the Titus brand, too. Titus Worldwide, I'm sorry.
I was thinking of having Tozawa in the match, but because he's already in a different feud, I didn't pick him. Yeah, I just
pulled it because...
and I think he might very well be the next person who gets the title.
Yeah, because he's pretty good.
And Austin Aries isn't there anymore.
His German suplex is crazy.
Yeah.
Austin Aries, I mean, I can understand the guy, though.
Yeah, of course.
What are you gonna do? Okay, so main show, right?
Yes.
So let's do the non-title matches first, I would assume.
Okay, yes.
What do you got?
I got the Fashion Police versus their attackers.
Can I guess?
Yes.
Harper and Rowan.
No.
Alright.
I'm going with something a bit more crazy. Not that type of crazy. I'm going War Machine.
Okay.
They're not in WWE right now.
Yeah, about to say.
But that's also the reason why I put them on the main card, because that will be a huge reveal.
Yes.
Of course.
It would be... I believe it would be Sanity, more likely than that.
Yeah, but if it is an outside team, like, War Machine would make sense.
Okay.
And, of course, in that case, they're going over. Like,
okay.
No matter who the Fashion Police is facing, unless they're pulling, like a lower card team, like Essential or something out of their asses.
Okay, here's the thing, right?
They're gonna lose.
I do not have a match with the Fashion Police on the card, because I believe that at SummerSlam we'll get the reveal. And possibly an impromptu match, but I'm not booking that right now.
Okay.
That might be one of those that just slot in there and they'll do it again on the Raw and then completely make it irrelevant immediately. I got, first of all, Le Hardy Boys versus Le Revival. And they're breaking. They are breaking because the Revival is going to beat them. It might be a gimmick match. I'll put it down. It might be like a... chairs match or tables match. Can we do a tables tag team match? I don't know.
Of course we can. That's what the Dudleys do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sure, we can do that. Sure. So yeah. So might be one of those gimmicky matches. Might not be. Revival's winning, going over big, and the Hardys are breaking apart, and it's gonna be delightful for me to watch that.
So my second non-title match on the main card is
exactly
that.
Exactly the same. And you have them breaking?
Yes.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I'm not gonna agree on that.
I definitely have Matt breaking and them splitting.
Yeah.
I could see the WWE trying to get Jeff over with his old gimmick.
He's athletic.
Just that as a gimmick.
Like because he takes bumps and does all crazy stuff.
Because I'm pretty sure that's what Vince thinks is the best thing to do with Jeff.
Yes, and Matt's breaking.
But Matt's definitely breaking.
He's breaking hard, okay.
Unless the lawsuit doesn't settle on which case. I mean,
that's gonna be...
we don't have any influence on that.
I'm gonna love it if that happens. Okay, is it my turn?
Yes,
yeah, it's my turn.
Second
non-title match is... Okay, here's what I put down, right? I put down Wyatt versus Balor, but in parentheses, I put respectively the word family and the word club behind either superstar.
Oh.
Because right, Gallows and Anderson were technically working babyface against the Revival on last week's Raw, this week's Raw, right? So it's a crossover pay-per-view, so why not do it, right?
Yeah.
So Bray was better when there was an actual cult to his cult leading, right?
Yeah.
So Harper and Rowan don't have anything to do, and if they turn out not to be the Fashion Police's assailants, which I hope that to be Sanity, and that would work with SummerSlam and all that stuff, with them coming up after Takeover. Yeah. If it turns out not to be them, why not have that triple like that? No, it's not a triple threat. It's a tag team match, but three-person tag match.
6-man tag. That's what they call it.
Yeah, three people each team. So maybe they'll have the Wyatt family appear a couple of weeks before, or just 1 week before, assaulting Finn Balor or something like that, and then SummerSlam they confront him, and Balor, he's basically saying that 3-on-1, and he's running around backstage looking for some people that might help him out, and who better to pick than the people who don't have any matches on the card yet, and were friends with him in Japan, and have recently turned babyface, the Club.
I mean, I would book the scenario you said as just it being a one-on-one match, and then Bray appears shortly before that match is happening, and he's I've got my family back.
Yeah, he's got his dudes, and then they just run in, the Club just runs in.
And then Balor's like, oh, I've got friends too, and then like...
Would have been better if they about to beat up Balor and then the club just runs in, because that'll give them a huge pop, which they need.
But if booking that as a 6-man tag, I would probably have just Bray basically change it into that on the show in a segment.
Sure. Yeah, we can do that. I've got Balor or the club winning.
Okay.
So, it's your turn, right? First title match.
The first title match.
Are we going to do the ones that we know already? Like...
Sure, let's go with the women's matches, I guess.
Women's matches. SmackDown.
SmackDown women's match. Naomi versus Natalya. Same. Naomi wins.
Yeah. Carmella, appearance, cash in, anything. Something, maybe, possibly, allegedly.
Maybe, but probably not, because there's already enough happening on SummerSlam.
I could see Carmella just failing to cash in at one point.
Okay,
That's the type of thing that they would do. Oh, it's the first women's Money in the Bank, and we are going to take all the ability for all
we're
of it right away.
We're assuming 12 matches and some segments. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's going to be any cash-ins.
Probably not. Okay, yeah, exact same thing. Naomi retains, right?
Yeah.
Raw.
Bayley versus Alexa Bliss. Mm-hmm. Alexa retains.
I got Bayley. Okay, so there's two ways this could go, right? If Bayley wins, right, which I got, then Sasha comes out and turns on her.
Yeah, but people have been saying that for like half a year.
Yeah, if Alexa wins,
Nia comes
out and turns on her. So either way, you don't want to be the winner of that match because someone's turning on you. But I'd like to see the Bayley Sasha, because they have planted that seed with them going up against each other for the number one contendership. So that has been teased, and I don't know, I'd like to see that. Sasha works great as a heel. I know she's immensely popular, and she'll always get cheered, even as a heel, but she works good as a heel.
Yeah.
I liked Team Bad back in the day. Okay, so that's the women's matches out of the way. You know what? One of them might be in the pre-show.
Yeah, I could see that.
You could easily plop one of those.
But people might riot again.
Like Natalya and Naomi in the pre-show, I could see them do that easily. And then Balor and Wyatt on the main show.
To be fair, people went on the social networks last time the women were on the pre-show and demanded them be on the main show, and then the IC title match instead was on the pre-show.
What the... dude, they put one of the most prestigious titles of all time in the pre-show.
Yeah, it's probably the second most prestigious title that they have right now.
Yes, and there's still a women's match on the card. Like, there's 2 women's matches, at least.
Yeah.
Because 2 women's titles, right? So I'd rather those be in the pre-show, like the IC title again.
Especially Naomi versus Natalya, where it's relatively safe that Naomi's winning, I would say.
Pretty sure. Okay, let's get into the tag titles, though.
Okay.
So what do you got for Raw?
For Raw, I've got Sheamus and Cesaro, who are the champions, of course. Versus Gallows and Anderson.
Okay.
Because I didn't know who else they could face.
You know who they're going to face? I'm telling you they're going to face.
TM61.
Nope, they're going to face Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins.
Okay.
Because they've been teasing the Shield reunion for weeks now. And they had Ambrose refusing the fist bump and all that stuff. Yeah, but it doesn't
seem like Ambrose.
And he's not trusting him. But they're going to get that title. Like, here's what's going to happen, right? Like, Kurt Angle or whatever is going to tell him on Raw that, like, oh, you've been working really well together. You've been, like, top notch, kicking Bo Dallas in the ass and all that stuff. That's great stuff.
Because that's so hard.
Yeah, with the Miz Taraj. How about a title shot? Why not do that? How about you try as a tag team? And Ambrose is kind of skeptical about that, but Rollins earns his trust. And then at SummerSlam, they'll do the Shield reunion, like the fist bump and all that stuff. And they win. I got them winning.
Okay.
And you know what's going to happen too? That would make Ambrose the first Shield member to hit the title Grand Slam.
Oh. Because he was US champion.
Yep.
He was world champion.
And IC champion.
And
he's going to be tag champion too.
Yeah.
So why not? I got him winning. I'd like to see that because they're great workers together and they could be very dominant. We've had heel champions for a while now, so why not?
As a matter of fact, I've also got a Shield Grand Slam champion.
What?
On my card.
What? Wait a minute. Do you?
Yeah. Because Seth and Roman were tag champions, right?
Yes.
So, Seth was also world and US champion, and I may or may not have him win the IC title.
Alright. Sure. Why not? Okay. So, let's get into the other tag match now first.
Yes.
SmackDown tag match.
So, the SmackDown tag match, I think it's relatively obvious who it is.
New Day,
of course, is champions versus Usos, right?
Usos. And I got the Usos winning just because I want them to win so bad.
I've got the New Day win just because I don't think the Usos are gonna win.
They're so good.
If I was fantasy booking it the way I want it to happen, the Usos win.
Of course, they're so good.
But I don't think they are gonna win.
They're so good.
So I'm saying that New Day wins.
I'm picking Usos because I couldn't decide, and that's just blind favoritism for me. Usos, man. Usos. Okay.
Yeah, New Day for me because pessimism.
I guess, yeah, expecting the worst. Okay, we got 4.
Hope for the best, but
yes, we got 4 more matches, right? So IC, United States, and both world titles.
Yes.
US title.
US title.
US title. Probably gonna be the best match of the night.
AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
The question is, who goes in as champion and who goes out?
Yeah. Also, is there a Jericho sighting?
Also that.
Possible, because he's not on my card so far. He'd be one of those.
Also not on my card.
He would be one of those guys that will just slot in at the random spot.
So
I'll tell you that later. So I got AJ winning the title.
Yes, me too.
I'm not gonna tell you if he's retaining or if he's winning it back.
I'm saying he's retaining because it's ridiculous how often they're switching that title.
Exactly.
It feels like
right now AJ's the title, but there's probably gonna be a rematch next week, and they're switching it at house shows now, so there's no way of knowing that.
They're just trying to get AJ to become the first however many time champion. Or Owens.
Because he's the face of America.
But I feel
also, I really liked what Brian Zane. I think he asked Brian Zane they would like the entrance song of Owens. Have you seen that?
No.
The America. When it's like Owens.
Oh, yeah.
That's really good. You should check that out. Brian Zane at Wrestling with Regret.
Yes.
Shout out to you, man. Pretty good. Love the purple.
I love how we need to shout out people that are way bigger.
Love the purple jacket that you put on whenever you review the cruiserweight matches. Pretty awesome. Also, probably my favorite wrestling channel on YouTube. Aside from us, of course. Pretty good. Okay, it's still Trash Can TV. We're not promoting other people here.
Okay, so I guess the IC title.
IC title. Okay, so I got an interesting thing here, but let me hear you. What you got? You got Miz and Rollins.
Yeah, right? I got Miz and Rollins wins.
All right. Yeah, okay.
Which would make him the first Grand Slam champion out of the Shield.
I got Miz defending against, and I give you 3 attempts to guess whom.
Heath Slater.
No.
Oh, wait. Jason Jordan. That was relatively obvious. No favoritism whatsoever on Kurt Angle's side.
None at all. But he beat Kurt Hawkins, which makes him a main eventer immediately on Raw right now. No, but seriously.
Because Kurt Hawkins is a star maker, of course.
He's going to get a push. Yeah, of
Jason course.
Jordan. Otherwise, they would not have done that whole storyline.
That makes sense, yeah.
It also adds up very well. We did the math. Fact. And I got Jason winning. Yeah. Got him winning the IC title. Why not?
That does make sense.
Makes him a superstar immediately. So,
I mean, they can't really do the storyline with him being Kurt Angle and then just don't do anything with him.
They could have him face Angle at Mania.
That would work.
Why not?
But they have to keep the momentum somehow.
They could have him against Gable if they manage to do that at some point later down the line.
Yeah.
But, okay, so 2 more matches.
Let's go to Universal first because we already know that.
Fatal 4-Way.
Yes.
Strowman, Brock, Roman, and Joe.
Yes.
Who do you got winning?
I've got Roman Reigns winning because WWE.
See, I got Brock, right? I got Brock retaining, and I'm gonna stick with the thought that he's gonna hold it until Mania.
Well, he's gonna drop it. Reports say that he might drop it on SummerSlam.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to extend his contract. That was the thing, right? He was gonna leave and do UFC again.
He is apparently either in the process of or already in the drug testing pool again.
Yeah.
So
if either Braun,
although he did that too last time his contract was about to run out, he also was doing stuff with the UFC just to get the best possible offer.
Also, Braun and Joe winning will probably be the most liked results, but the most likely Joe, probably not. Yeah. Okay, I also got one interesting riddle for this, right? In that feud, like the 4 people, right? Who's a face and who's a heel in that? Exactly. All the people.
Way you would think about the way the WWE thinks about that would be that Roman is the only face, right?
Yeah, but look at the dynamics because they haven't booked him as a face at all.
No, I mean
he tried to murder a man.
I was about to say you would almost think that Braun in that feud is the face.
But Braun tried to murder him too.
That's the thing, though. You can't do that if you're a face. That's
two people who attempted murder, and then you got Samoa Joe who chokes out civilians.
I mean, Randy Orton, the arsonist, was also a face.
Right. The only legitimately, like, the only person who hasn't done any, like, really healer stuff is Brock.
Which is surprising.
Yeah. So Brock is, like, technically the most face-ish face. like, all of them are healed and faces in some type of way, I guess, because the dynamic is weird, but you couldn't tell. You just couldn't tell. It's like last year with Stephanie McMahon. You couldn't tell. Heel or face, no one could tell.
They just hope that everyone's hyped for that match, and that's it.
Yeah, that's probably going to be it. It's not the end of the video, right? But I know. Okay, so we got one.
I have to say that every single time.
I don't know. We got one match left.
Yes, we got one match left, and that's the WWE Championship. They finally decided what it's called.
Jinder versus Great Khali?
No.
Alright.
So, presumably it's still Jinder the champ by then.
Yeah.
Versus, again, presumably the winner between Cena and Nakamura.
Cena.
And it's probably going to be Cena.
It just might be Cena. So there's two things that they might be thinking about this, right? Either we're going to push Mahal to the moon by having him defend against Cena. Maybe interference. Or we're going to have Cena win. And then possibly put over Corbin hugely by cashing in immediately. So, because that would be Corbin ruining the greatest moment in wrestling history, pretty much, for Cena.
So the way I predicted / fantasy both did is that Jinder Mahal wins.
Yeah.
By DQ. No wait, he retains by DQ.
He loses.
Cena wins by DQ.
Okay, so but Mahal retains the title.
Yes.
So is Corbin eventually going to cash in on him, or are we still going to do the Survivor Series thing?
I think we're going to do the Survivor Series thing because I kind of want that to happen.
So good, that would be great. Have we ever announced that?
I think we talked about that on the very first Trash Talk podcast when we did the Mania thing.
Possible, right? So we were thinking that Corbin might cash in during the Survivor Series match on his teammate who's also holding the championship at that point.
Yeah.
And then just walk out and leave SmackDown team to die. That would be fantastic.
Would be great.
So, I got Cena winning, possibly the title, but definitely the match.
That's what I was saying, right?
Yeah, if he does win the title, though, I could see them cashing it in on him. Because that'll make Corbin either the most hated or most loved person.
I mean, I would love that.
I would love him too. I love him anyway. I don't
want Cena to get the title in the first place anymore.
Yeah, but I know, but Corbin's my favorite wrestler anyway, right?
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want. I know people don't like him, say that he's boring, he's bad, whatever. I love the guy. He's so good. He's so good. Love the gimmick. I can identify with that too. Love the gimmick.
I just hate Cena.
Yeah, I'm not big on Cena, but I don't hate him either. So yeah, I got Cena winning. If there was any other matches that we can fit in the card.
For you, of course, the Fashion Police something.
Fashion Police something. It would be like I need to find something for Jericho to do. Need to find something for Randy Orton to do.
If there's 11 matches on the card and 2 in the pre-show, then I would of course put Finn and Bray in the card, and then put the pre-show match that you did.
Yeah, something
along those lines.
Something for Randy, something for Jericho.
I kind of want a cross-promotional match somewhere.
Yeah, me too. But like I said, I proposed at one point. Aiden English taking on what's his face, Elias Sampson.
Yeah,
because they're very similar.
Great.
Like they give a concert together and they face each other. It'd be great. Also, I don't know if people want to see that.
It's just Elias doing his guitar and singing thing, and then Aiden is like, "No, that's how you do it," and he starts singing.
I don't know if people want to see that, but kind of like a retirement match for Big Show, putting over Big Cass.
Yeah.
I can see that because we don't need Enzo and Cass again. We already know how this ends. Enzo's never going to win against Cass.
I was kind of thinking maybe doing a cross-promotional tag match, 2 versus 2, 2 from each brand, 2 faces, 2 heels. I think I proposed something similar for Mania.
I mean, it's still possibilities for a Raw Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
They have not announced anything like that yet, but
that would be great. It would also be great if they did that and then didn't announce it at all.
And it's the following match, they'll bring all the people out. They might as well just drop in the Battle Royal or something. No, what I mean,
announce it in the pre-show and then have it be one of the matches on the main card or something.
Yeah, that would be pretty
great. Announce it right before.
That would be awesome. But probably they will announce it on the show before just to draw attention to SummerSlam.
Yeah, but
otherwise it wouldn't make sense.
Surprises are great though.
Yeah, only people.
My big surprise already is an outside team. I put in War Machine as a proxy, more or less.
I guess the best thing, if everything happens as I predicted, it would be
Broken Matt Hardy.
Broken Matt Hardy. That's the best thing that's going to be on any match card. Like, it happen, whatever. Like, even if Corbin cashes in, which is, I'm going to go through the roof by then, but Broken Matt, man, I want that.
Just imagine the cash in, and then like 2 matches later, it's the tag match, Revival versus Hardys,
and then break.
Then they break, and then
why would he cash in though before? He'd cash in at last because the championship match is probably going to be the last thing that happens, right?
I assume that Universal title is the last, and that they put at least 1 or 2 matches between the World title and Universal.
Possible, yeah,
possible. So
but it's main event Cena, man. It's main event Cena.
Yeah, but it's Brock Lesnar and Vince's favorite Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Like, okay, so we have some people left on this card.
Especially if Roman wins.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to be the last match.
So we left some people off the card.
Oh gosh, Roman main eventing.
They might just like to give those a match, like dropping Corbin and Nakamura again because they don't have a match yet. But other than that, I think we're pretty close, aren't we?
Is there anyone like great on Raw that's not on the card yet? Because then we could do Nakamura versus...
You don't even have Sami Zayn, but it's like they had a great match, remember?
Yeah.
In NXT. Wouldn't have to be a heel, would it?
Not necessarily.
Could have Sammy, but they'd have.
Yeah, they did that.
They could people that could always drop in would be like people like Ziggler and Jericho, just to do stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, you could probably put like some kind of 6-man tag together just to have people on the card.
Like a Battle Royal, something like that. Mojo Rawley.
I mean, that would be good though. Have a Battle Royal with anyone mid card up that's not on the show. Put a few cruiserweights in there.
Yeah. Rob Gronkowski, all the guys.
Yeah, sure. Put him in there.
Bring him in. Bring him in once again. Oh, no. Okay. I apologize for that. So, that's that for that. So, let's get into the Song of the Week.
The Song of the Week.
Also, fun fact, it's the first podcast to ever breach an hour.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to do that.
Yes.
So, also, I think it's the first time we both knew our respective songs of... No, wait, I don't know yours.
You don't know my Song of the Week,
but it's the first time that someone knew the Song of the Week before, right?
I knew when you said... oh, yeah, true, right. Because I knew on one podcast that we recorded earlier, but we're going to upload later.
Oh, yeah.
Which, I was about to reveal that song, but I can't do that. No.
Oh, yes, right, because I yeah.
Yep. You told me before.
I was gonna... name as a fact that you added that song to your playlist after I suggested it, which also was a first.
Yes.
But I can't do that yet because time travel is confusing.
Right. Okay, so what is your song of the week?
So my song of the week is, and there's a bit of a backstory to this.
Right.
So we were at a show, concert type thing. It's not really a concert.
Like there's like 20 people there and they got some random local rock band.
Yeah, so there was a cover band playing.
Small village, guys. And
they played a song that I already really liked, and I really liked their version of it nearly as much as the original.
It's Blackbird, eh?
Yes. Mm-hmm. So, because I was hyped about that, and it's relatively fresh right now.
They also played Goodbye to Jane and Hammer to Fall by Queen, which was good.
So yeah, it's Blackbird by the Beatles.
Yep.
Which, it's technically a Beatles song, but it was... McCartney. Paul McCartney wrote and sang the song, but it wasn't a Beatles album, so it's still classified as a Beatles song.
So you did that research?
Yes.
And that concert, as of we were recording this, was last night. Like,
yes.
We're not even 24 hours removed from that as we record.
Exactly.
Or pretty much 24 hours.
We're like, almost 24 hours from the start.
Yeah, close to it. Okay. That's pretty good. So we, I already said we reached an hour, right? So,
yes.
My song of the week, and I referenced that before, and I wonder if you can guess why I referenced it, is a New York mining disaster by the Bee Gees.
Okay.
And there is a correlation, right?
It mentions a Mrs. Jones, right?
Mr. Jones.
Mr. Jones?
Have you seen my wife, Mr. Jones?
Oh,
Do you know what it's like on the outside? If you brought that up with like as opposed to the mysterious Mr. Jones, that would have fit so well.
Once you said New York mining disaster, I knew that there was someone named Jones in that song, but I did not make the connection before.
There's no more characterization, but he's talking to a Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
Have you seen my wife? It's just, you know what it's like on the outside. He's talking to a Mr. Jones, presumably writing a letter or whatever in whatever form that song's supposed to be in. Check that out, by the way. It's a good song.
That's why it is the song of the week.
And that Mr. Jones is somewhat mysterious.
Yeah.
Right?
It's
so maybe
it's a mysterious Mr. Jones.
Maybe those songs happen in the same universe. I don't know.
Depends how they're spelling Mr.
They're not misspelling because Slade has a tendency for misspelling songs.
They had a full album of that. I don't remember what it was called, but it referenced.
There's like a lot of them. It's like Goodbye to Jane is also misspelled. Mysterious Mr. Jones and all that stuff.
This album title also had like a reference to the fact that everything was misspelled. Yeah, I don't remember what it was called though.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like some type of.
I want to say it was called something similar to like good spelling or something like. Not exactly.
And then they misspelled that too.
I think it was something like that. I don't exactly remember.
You know what? Check it out. Buy that album if you can. Buy that CD. It's probably gonna be good. There's good songs on there.
I like how we just advertised a different song from our songs of the week.
Well, our songs of the week are pretty good though.
Yeah.
Blackbird by Paul McCartney / The Beatles. New York Mining Disaster by the Bee Gees.
Yeah. So we talked about music a lot today.
We did, and that's probably why this is our longest podcast so far. We went way over an hour.
Yeah.
But hey.
Well, not way. You went over an hour.
Yes, we did. Okay, so
that's
get
it.
us out of here again. You know what? Let's do it again.
That's it.
That's it.